Welcome, everybody. I'm here, and we're going to do some stuff. My workbench is very dirty this evening. This morning. It's not morning. It's not morning. Because I had my UDR up here, and it was full of sand. Oh man.
This is Apple's most secret iPhone cable, and it's hiding something. This cable is more than 13 years old, and that was when Apple was switching from their 30-pin connector to their Lightning connector. Remember that. That's going to be important later. I definitely cannot show you that, but that is the Apple employee's email that this prototype would have been sent to. So you can
Welcome
see
to make
it's
stuff
in
better.
this plastic wrap. So you can see down here, it is literally brand new, so it still has a peel. Let's do that the first time and see what's underneath. Okay, this looks to be some kind of diagnostic. I wouldn't know. Someone smarter than me, let me know in the comments. It has a cover over the 30 pin that is a legit 30 pin plug. But if you're familiar with the 30 pin, this might look a little strange. You have these things here, and you also have this.
How's it
You
going?
can sort of hear it when I shake it.
I am working on an Erevo tonight. I gotta bring up the chat here on my iPad so that I can see what it is I'm doing. Go. Trying to bring up the chat so I can see the chat when people chat, if people chat. No pressure. Maybe a little pressure. There we go. All right. Nothing stock. What is up? Chilling on a Monday evening. Yeah, me too. I've decided Monday evenings are my stream nights. I think a lot of other people are, they stream on other nights, and so I feel like this is an open night where maybe not a lot of people have a lot going on. Although it is kind of nice to like be midweek and go, oh, so-and-so is live. 24 Yip or whoever. And you get to chat it up. Although when it comes to live streams, I'm kind of over the big live streams. Like if I watch Harley Designs in Scale Builders Guild, when they stream together, they have like 300 people in their chat, and it is just like chat's going crazy. You can't get a word in edgewise. So I like small chats. I like watching waffles. So that guy's fun. So I realized tonight that I left my tools at my church because I was there for a Super Bowl party last night. Didn't watch the Super Bowl at all. Me and somebody else played with RC cars, so I left all of my tools. Sorry, I'm just sweeping up the sand off the bench here because I just worked on my UDR recently and it was full of sand. So don't mind the sweeping sound. Rockwolf is doing Mofo Monday. Ooh, in about an hour. That's good, because I'm only here for an hour. Maybe I'll check in with that. Rockwolf. I don't know if I subscribe to him. I'll have to check him out. But yeah, I think it's a good idea to spread out the streams for the guys or the community that you're a part of. So if you're a creator and you pick a night that nobody else is streaming that kind of participates in your circle, it's a good idea. Sound check is good. Thank you for that, because I sometimes wonder. I could pull it up on the iPad. I could just turn it up because that's when I'm watching the chat. It'll show up on here and then it goes away really quick, but yeah. Okay. As promised, I'm working on the Erevo. I got these cool drive shafts. What's really interesting about these is not only are they steel, but one end is a U-joint and the other end is a dog bone. So there's the dog bone. And the other end's a U-joint. So I don't know how I feel about that. I know if U-joints are not in phase, they you end up with vibration issues. But I wonder if dog bones are an actual constant velocity joint because of how they operate. I'm going to do a test on that one day, and then I will know. Oh, I got my U-joint out of place. Nose out of joint? My joint out of place. Nothing stock. I don't watch football hardly. Only time I watch is when the Saints go to the Super Bowl. Yeah, I don't even know how likely that is to happen. That's how little I watch football. The Patriots were in it this year because I live in New England. Patriots are like, they would be my team. People are like, you a Pats fan? I go, I'm like, kinda, I guess. Okay. So I had some issues with this thing and tore it all apart. I thought it was in the diff. Turns out it wasn't. One of the big problems, I took this apart the other day, is this is chewed right up. This was the spur gear. So I got a steel spur gear. They make that plastic, and this is a 6S rig. You think about once every 40 years the Saints go to the Super Bowl. Nice. That's awesome. And the other thing about working on this, no, I did say that. I said my tools aren't here, so let's meet my church for doing that Super Bowl party. So I have these. I actually TIG welded these to the hex. I don't know how well it's going to work. They might have to be touched up. And that's the wrong size. But we'll see, because I got this awesome impact driver. I'm going to set it on speed 1 and go real gentle. But what I did is I cut off the hex that was on here. It was about here. And this is designed to go in one of those handles with a set screw. It's got a little flat spot on it. And I was like, I'm always running into my tool not being long enough. So I took it, I cut off the hex because they were all worn out and rounded over. And hopefully this holds together long enough to at least replace the drive shafts in this thing. So we're about, well, it worked on that one. If nothing stuck too bad, probably will work. I do have something that came in the mail today that is kind of exciting. So as soon as I get these drive shafts in, I'll show you what that is. Maybe Waffles will stop in later. That is the wrong size. So I want 1.5. I think this is 1.5. No, this is 2. 2mm. That is so much better than doing it by hand. Oh my gosh. I'm sure you guys have watched Kevin Talbot. One of the things he says is never tighten it all the way with this thing when it's going into plastic. And that's right. But this is the Surge hydraulic impact driver. It is so gentle. I did not feel bad at all about running it in here. Yeah, Waffles usually stops in, but for him it's like 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and people are usually still pretty busy around 5 o'clock. Because he's in California, yay. They leave you this little hole here. Let me point this down so you can see what's going on. There's a little hole in like the rear skid plate to get to that set screw, but I don't. Oh, I think I found it. Just seems difficult to get to. Ooh. Oh yes, got it. I don't have to pull off the whole rear skid plate and everything. This is a plastic drive shaft in a 6S machine. The front drive shaft, the U-joint here, was just like twisted all up. So we've got metal ones. And I don't know which end should go where. If the U-joint should go up front or in the back. Maybe it doesn't matter. Which side is the threads? That side. Yeah, I'm sure it doesn't matter. These are basically straight drive shafts anyway. They don't even need to put U-joints on them because the diffs and the transmission are all bolted to the chassis. So nothing's going to move. Oh no. I dropped the set screw in and it didn't go in the hole. Yeah, I'm sure Waffles will be here. He would if he could. That's the thing about Mike. He will if he can. Okay, line that up. Line that up. Oh, you know what? Maybe this one goes in one direction. No, I got the space. Okay. Just didn't go on far enough. Ah. Magnets. Oh, I have magnets. Hang on. I bought a crap ton of magnets because I like to use them for body mounts for my micro crawlers. So you stick one of those on your tool, and then when you stick this, oh, it's the wrong size. When you stick the screw on it, it actually holds the screw because now the whole thing becomes magnetic. Nope, made a liar out of me. I stuck the magnet too far up on the bit, so it didn't have enough magnetism at the tip. Oh, here we go. No, I stuck it in the wrong side. It's gotta go that way. There it is. Working blind, I feel like. I kind of don't even want to hit hit that very hard. It is metal in metal. And oh shoot, that came out. Okay, we're good. Nope, we're doing fine. We're doing fine. Yep. Oh, look who just showed up. Speak of the devil. I'm here driving but listening. Welcome in, Mike. I'm making this a regular thing. Cleared it with the wife. She's good with me streaming on Monday nights, not hanging out with her. Because we'll make time to hang out other times. But I'm only going to be here for about an hour. And I started almost at 7. Yeah, so I've been going 15, 18 minutes. All right, rear drive shaft is not attached. Oh, because the dog bone. No. No way. This doesn't reach. So when I spin the wheels, the dog bone spins, or the diff cup diff cup. But it doesn't reach. Why doesn't it reach? Because it's a cheap eBay part, maybe? Look, this is ridiculous. They said it was for the Erevo. You gotta see what's going on here. Yeah, there we go. This is the dog bone, and this is the diff cup. It just... How? How does that not reach? It wouldn't be for the mini Revo because it should be like this long. That's much shorter. Normally, I don't blame the manufacturer. Normally, I say, what do I miss? What did I miss? But this is interesting. Is it missing a bearing? I don't think so. So this up here is the front one, and that's a U-joint. It's the like the CV style U-joint, but there's no like... Oh, you didn't see that thing. There we go. So this is the front one. It's a U-joint style, or a CV style U-joint. And the rear one, there's no way I put that in wrong. There's only one hole to put it in, right? Yeah, because it's fully hooked up. Wow. Does the front one fit? I'm interested now, because if the front one fits and the back one doesn't, that's a problem. But if neither one of them fit, it's not for this truck, it's for something else. Even though online it said this was a Erevo drive shaft. Man, it's only shorter by 1/8 of an inch. Maybe a 1/4 inch, because you want it to like actually sit in there. If I had a longer diff cup, it would totally work. Maybe I could build one. Because this doesn't work. It'll have to be made better. There's no way around that. So now, how do I get the front part off without taking the whole front suspension off? Let's see. I'm gonna need to take out this. And this one. I don't hate the length of these bits though. This is fun. I think you missed it, Mike, but I was talking about how I kind of built these bits. I really just went online and bought a bit designed to go in a handle with a set screw. And then I took a bit with a 1/4 inch drive on it, cut off the hex, and I welded them together. So I can have an extra long driver. I already took that one out. Okay, well. So then should I? Yeah, I'm gonna pull this right here. I'm gonna pull this one. See if we can get to the spaces in between. Yeah, maybe I can kind of sneak it in through the side there. It's definitely long enough to get there. The bit, I don't know about the drive shaft yet. We're gonna find out. Dude, that's so crazy that it's only just a 1/4 inch short. I mean, if you want a good connection, a 1/2 inch would be ideal, but there's no way flipping it around would change anything, is there? It should still be the same length, whether it goes one way or the other way. That shouldn't matter. And I say that very loosely because I say things like that a lot where I'm like, it won't matter if I do it this way. And I avoid doing it that way for so long. And then I go, it mattered. But it's a length thing. This shouldn't matter. Careful what you say, Gabe. Careful what you say. Actually, if I pull those 2 screws, it might get me in a little further. The worst part about taking a car apart is remembering where those screws came from. Because if you don't put those screws back in the same places, RC Crawler Addict, it could be frustrating ordering parts at times. Some actually know they are screwing you and sell them anyway. Yes, they do. Like, we know this totally doesn't fit. It'll fit something. It's just not gonna fit what you want, but you're gonna buy it because our description said it's what you want. Yeah, I don't want to send this back. The funny part is I could have tested this, and I was like, no, I'm gonna save it for the stream. I got other crap to do this week. I'll just do this on the stream. And yep, that bit me. But it is looking hopeful for this front one to fit. So we're gonna try that and see how it goes. Slid on further. Oh, with where this goes on to, this may not actually fit on the front either, because by the time I pull this back and get that diff lock, that diff cup, I guess it is a diff cup, because I think this has a center differential, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I know it has a slipper clutch, and I don't think they would put a slipper and a slip differential in the same transmission, but I don't know. They did weird things back then, like push rod shock absorbers, push rod suspension. Okay, so I've got that in place now. Okay, this one feels like it locks up, but how much engagement do we have? Wow, that's, I don't know if you can see that. Let me see. Yes, you can see that. So right here, you can see how much engagement it has with that, which is not very much. So as of right now, this is front wheel drive. And that's probably what I get for getting the inexpensive Amazon one. And I say this to myself all the time, you buy it nice or you buy it twice. Now I don't really want to send it back because I feel like it'd be useful on something else, but at the same time, what else would it be useful for? I don't know the answer to that. It's called good content because I messed it up. RC Crawler Addict. It is a VXL setup. It's the 6S VXL. Because this is the full-size Erevo, it's not the 1/16 scale. You know what I do have is I've got a 1/16 scale slash. Oh, that's helpful. Yeah, do it that way. Good job. Anyway, the 1/16 scale slash actually is sorry, a little screen here. I'm using the back camera on my phone because it's better than the front camera, so it makes for a better viewing experience. And then I've got a little screen that magnetizes, sticks to the back of my phone, and it shows me what's on my screen. So it's like a air display type thing. That fell off, so then I pushed a button and the settings screen came up. But the 16 scale slash is built on the same platform as the Mini Revo, and what I'm wondering is, are those drive shafts really designed for this? And just by looking at it, I'm gonna say no. Look how little that is. And look how big this is. There's no way that drive shaft fits this. So it's not like they forgot to tell me which Erevo it's for. It's almost like this is a front, oh, that gives me an idea. A front drive shaft, like for a suspension wheel thing. Yeah, one of those drive shafts. Oh man. I kind of want to make a new drive cup for it though. I have a friend with a lathe and a mill. I'm pretty sure we could make one of these diff cups, and we just make it longer. Trouble is making it hard, which shouldn't actually be an issue because we can heat it with a torch and then drop it in some water. And that'll make it hard. That's how you harden metal, is you heat it up really, really hot. Depending on how hot you heat it and the makeup of the metal as far as what kind of alloy it is and how quickly you cool it and the temperature you cool it to will all determine how hard things get. But in short, you just make it red hot, yellow hot, and then you drop it in some water or some oil. Yeah, it definitely doesn't go in that one. Way too big to go in there. The front drive shaft would almost fit in the rear on that, but even then it wouldn't fit. Anyway, so I guess that little adventure is done for now. I can leave the front drive shaft in. If I decide to make a diff cup, I am showing you guys the process because that would be really cool. Diff cup, drive cup. I'm gonna call it a drive cup because I guess it does come off the diff. That would be okay to call it where it goes. Just gonna put this rubber boot on there where it belongs, and then put this rig away. Well, that's a little bit sad. So instead of a no-wheel drive Erevo, I have a front-wheel drive Erevo. Put the spare parts over here. Now, something I'm excited for is Moxie. How many of you guys have had Moxie? I'm very interested. Torch plus snow equals super hard. Drop it in the snow. One thing I do like about putting it in water versus snow is the contact you get from water. You stick it in and you like swish it around, and water's more dense than snow. Not ice, but snow. And you've got to like move it through the snow a lot to get that. But when I was when I lived on my parents' farm and I would weld things, I would often just chuck them in the snow, because not necessarily for hardening purposes, but I wanted them to be handleable because they were very hot. Mail call. My next sponsored video is coming. These showed up in the mail today, which was fortuitous that I'm streaming on the day they showed up. There it is. It opens sideways like this. Just trying to open it on the end. This is... There we go. Oh, I like the package size of this. It's not like a new release or anything. They just sent it to me. They're like, hey, do some advertising for us. Pepe's towing service is live. If any of you guys watch recovery videos, Pepe makes some really good recovery videos. My personal favorite is Murphy's Diesel, and Matt's Off-Road Recovery is probably the most famous one. But if you know who Murphy's Diesel is, this little truck holding all of my rechargeable AA batteries is going to become Hellboy. If you don't know what that is, look up Murphy's Diesel on YouTube, and I don't know if you'll get a good result if you search Hellboy, but he's got a tow truck called Hellboy. It's off the chain. Oh, what did Waffles say here? Chat, it went away. Drag it behind the slash. Oh, the slash actually of the snow sucks because it's two-wheel drive. I need to drag it behind the Revo, but I need the Revo to drag the diff cup, but it's only for front-wheel drive right now. Oh, my friend with the lathe and the end mill actually has a sledge. That's what we should do. Drag it with the sledge. We're gonna harden it by RC Crawling Addict. The Traxxas EMAX and Erevo are different shafts. Yes, they are. Actually, I can't say definitively. I'm going to take your word for it. I don't want to say 100%, but I believe you. I have not experienced that myself. Wait until the Waffles RC recovery soon. Ooh, that's going to be fun. I'm going to Amazon right now, and I'm going to let you know exactly what this description says of these drive shafts. You just looked it up on AMain. Thank you for the research. We should do that sometime. Like, I'll just stream it. I'll make random outlandish claims, and you guys can fact check me or something. So I've got 2 of these. I'm gonna put them. I was hoping to get them in the Erevo, but now it doesn't look like that's going to be helpful. But I'm going to get them in the UDR because I did fix the 4-wheel drive on the UDR. It's a 2.4 amp hour, so 2400 milliamp hour battery, 3S, but it's high voltage. So it charges up to, what is it, 4.4 volts instead of 4.2. So you get just a little more kick out of it. And it's supposed to be 80C. It's a 3S battery. So they sent me 2 of those. And they're gonna send me the bigger version once they're back in stock. So I can try them again. These are gonna be good flight batteries though. They're gonna be very good flight batteries. That I am very excited for. Especially at the front end of the flight when the thing is just going nuts. I have a 6S airplane that this is going to be really fun with. So I'm going to put one of them back in the box so I can do a unboxing, because we all know how that goes. Some people actually do unbox it live right there. Okay, where am I at? I'm going to Amazon. I need to find my orders. Oh, it was right there. Yes, this. Okay. In the description, it says front plus rear center drive shaft upgrade parts for Traxxas Erevo VXL 2.0. That's where I went wrong. It's for the 2nd generation Erevo. I have the 1st generation Erevo. I didn't think that changed. I wonder why that changed. I do know that they beefed up, not the 3.3, no. It is so the 3.3 is the nitro version. Mine's electric, and it was the first electric version. I think the 3.3 was the original Revo, and then when they made it electric, they made the chassis out of plastic instead of metal, and it was too powerful for how they built it. So they built a 2nd version and beefed up a lot of the parts in it, and then they were like, you know what, after a few years, it's probably like they built it for 10 years, they came out with the Sledge and then discontinued the Revo altogether. So, hope I don't have to go and buy it from Traxxas. Erevo. Center drive shafts. I wonder what's going to show up for me. One that looks exactly like the one that I got. This one is old Erevo 3.3 Summit, new Erevo 2.0 VXL. Oh, this one will work on both because it's a telescoping drive shaft. They don't just rely on the diff cup for movement. And that one is it by the Traxxas store on Amazon? No, it's somebody else. Might be an actual Traxxas part though. It goes 129 to 160 millimeters. I don't think I have a measuring tool out here with me. But yeah, looks like I'm gonna have to spend almost $40 on the drive shaft. And it's funny how you miss just the smallest part of that when you're buying these these things, and you go, ooh, one by Hot Racing. It's like $15 more. I just don't drive the truck that much. Oh, here's another one. Yeah, I should have gotten this one to begin with. It's $36 instead of $37. Looks exactly the same though. There's one for 42. All right, I know what I need to get. It's a shame that I didn't get it the first time. Why didn't I? Oh, because it's $20. The one I got is $20 versus the one I need, which is $38, $37.99. Well, that's what we got. Got some batteries. Got the wrong drive shafts for my truck. So I will end up pulling out that front drive shaft, and I'll put both of these in when I get it because I just don't like the engagement on it. What am I going to do with the $20 one? I don't know. Double check the shaft lengths when you order the older shaft. Yes, nothing stock RC. I will. They gave me, it goes from 129 millimeters to 160 telescoping, so I just need to get tape measure out and measure the truck. But I mean, 129 to 160, that's a big variability. Cut and sleeve it. Oh, that's not a bad idea, actually. Just get some round stock. Just have to make sure it's really straight. I don't know if you guys saw the gears turning in my head, but they were. That happens to me sometimes. Yeah. Sleeve it. Honestly, because I don't have my own welder, I use my buddy's welder who's got the lathe and the sledge. He actually just built a laser cutter, a CNC laser cutter for flat materials. I helped him with it a little bit, but this guy's a freaking genius. He's an electrical engineer, and he likes to play with RCs, and they're like best friends. It's awesome. He's also the one with the 3D printer. His name's Rick. I don't think he knows I go live on Monday nights, but he was available, and he knew he'd watch. Say hi to Rick, everybody. So when he watches back, I don't know that he will watch it back. Straight is relative when you can't see it. No, but this truck goes so fast, you would feel it. With the high-speed pinion, I think it does 70 miles an hour. I haven't ever gotten it that fast because the wheels I had on it the last time I tried were like full of water. Not full, but you know, you get it wet or sand or whatever, and it gets into the wheel because you didn't plug up the holes in the wheel. And it just wobbles down the road. I think I got it to like 55 or something. But yeah, it's supposed to do 70. Blow the wheels right off it. But I just gotta go buy a more expensive drive shaft. Well, I am going to be more careful when I look for new parts for my cars. I know you're not into micros, Mike, so this little part is not for you. But this is the Taco, the FMS 124 scale Tacoma. If you're looking to custom build a rig, like you find a body and you go, I need to build that into an RC, just go and get, probably not this one because it's more expensive than the Land Rover. Go and get this and pull the body off. This is the best bang for your buck micro crawler if you want to adapt it into something else. It is so, it's like they built it to be built into other things. Ooh, AliExpress has a pair of shafts for 17 bucks. I'm gonna go to AliExpress instead of Amazon. I haven't shopped there in a long time. It'll probably take a long time for it to show up, but honestly, like I said, I don't drive the truck that much. So I bought the Land Rover for that purpose because I have a 25th scale, yes, 1/25th scale Revel Ford Raptor body, because you can't buy these in a Ford Raptor. Nobody makes them. I don't know why. I didn't even have to change the wheelbase to put this Raptor body on it. It just went right on. So I'm currently trying out some different homemade rims to bring the offset in a little bit, because I don't want the wheels to stick out super far. I want it to look more like a scale Raptor. And I found some 1.0 tires that I really like. They're very small. And I also found some 0.7 inch tires, and I built rims for that as well. So I'll get those files up at some point. Ooh, Crawling Addict CVD 8655R steel center front and rear drive shafts with screws for Traxxas Erevo VXL 2.0 RTR 4-wheel drive 1/10 RC upgrades parts. That's the Revo 2.0. So if it's a telescoping drive shaft like this one used to be, and I say used to because this spline has now twisted inside the other spline and I can't do anything with it, it's fixed now. But if it's a telescoping like this, it would fit both of them. If it's got a dog bone on one end, it won't. Or dog bones on both ends, because then it would slop back and forth too far. You know what? I got AliExpress on my iPad. Let's go check it out right now. Because I will know as soon as I see it if it's one that I can use now that I've done this. Erevo center drive shaft. The AliExpress oh, there it is. Yes, I can use that one. They're showing the Erevo 2.0, but they're also showing the Summit. The Summit is built like the Revo 1.0, which is the one that I have. It's basically the exact same chassis. They just put a different transmission in it with 2-speed, and they put locking diffs in it. But chassis, everything else is the same except for the body. And this looks like it is, how much did I say? $16.93. $2 off on $15. Click that, but I have to sign in. I haven't used AliExpress in so long, I have to sign in again. Yep, that's the one I need, because it looks just like they put plastic drive shafts in this thing. Why would you do that? It just seems like a bad idea. Yes, the ones that look just like the ones I have aren't going to work in mine. But I did find other ones that look just like the ones on Amazon, and I think I'll go to AliExpress and get those because they're way cheaper. Although, they might not hold up as well. And if that's the case, well, I buy it twice, I guess. Oh, man. Oh, this is something you guys might enjoy. I put lights in this thing. This is the U-Tron, which is going to become a pre-runner. had lights for high boxing HBX little monster truck thing, and I never put them in because I was like, nah, I don't really want to. Another truck I don't use very much, but I'm so stoked for this. They're actually pretty bright. And I got them in the rear. The taillights are not really meant, they don't have light buckets in them. I had to drill holes into the plastic, but the way it worked out, it was just like, almost like somebody in the design team said, don't make the rear accept taillights, and the person designing it was like, I'm gonna make it easy to accept taillights, but it's not gonna look like it. I'm also working on some wheels for this because I want a different wheel when this becomes a pre-runner. It's just got an odd tread. Look at that. I don't know what tread that is. It's just weird. I don't think it's particularly unattractive. It just doesn't look like what I want it to look like. So I'll throw those wheels on something else. One thing that's cool about this crawler is the wheels do tuck up inside the body at full bump. Yes. Full droop would be the other way. But I forgot I put that battery in there. I cannot wait to build, well, I can wait. I am gonna wait because that's how the world works, right? But I can't wait to build the ultimate, and that's even probably what I'm gonna call the video, is the ultimate RC pre-runner. It's gonna be awesome. If I can figure it out, I'm gonna put actual sway bar disconnects in it. At least in the rear. I don't know if I'll be able to get them in the front because I want it to be like a King of the Hammers type vehicle. Not just speed, but agility also, crawlability. And you need that sway bar disconnect so you can crawl with it and it'll do the things. 120s? Are you talking about tires or shocks? 120 millimeter would be what, 5 inches ish? I think it's got just under 4-inch wheels on it now, like 3 3/4 or 3.8. Shocks, they're your favorite. Yeah, 120 millimeter shocks. I'll have to move the mounts, maybe. On the rear, I could definitely do 120s on the rear. On the front, I don't know, because I don't want the drive shafts to bind. And I'd really like to, oh, excuse me. Must be past my bedtime. I don't want the drive shafts or the balls, the pivot balls for the suspension to take the load when it bottoms out or tops out. That's why they put limit straps on off-road trucks, because especially fast ones, because when your shock tops out, enough times it will break that shock apart. So you put a limit strap on there and then the shock never actually hits the top. 120s on IFS would not be great. I would say challenge accepted, but I have been going so slow when it comes to creating recently. I just had somebody call me today and they were like, hey, so an old friend who moved to Kentucky, but I'm good friends with his wife and, no, his wife. My wife and his daughter are basically really good friends, and they had, so his daughter and her husband were living in their old house and renting it. They have now built a new house and moved into that, and the pipes broke in the house, and so my friend was here I was like, can we get this painted? Like, would you help me paint it? Whatever. I'm a commercial painter. So I was like, well, let me come over and take a look. And it's not a lot compared to what I do, but yeah, stuff like this keeps coming up all the time. And so now I'm like, well, I got to take care of that for some friends. So, ooh, waffles. You have 100s on your IFS trophy car with the IFS 2 kit. I'll look into that. 100s. You know what? This has IFS 2, which you probably knew. I was going to ask you a question, but I can look at it and I can give you the answer. I was going to ask if we can put dual shocks on this thing. Put on the lights. Move my Moxie. Nobody answered the question. Do you guys have you had Moxie? Mike hasn't always lived in California, so I assume I don't assume anything. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. But I'm looking for a dual shock setup on this IFS 2. Does not look promising. And if that's the case, so be it. Because this is not going to be the ultimate pre-runner. This is just going to be a pre-runner. There's these guys that I discovered on YouTube not that far ago. You were not able to get duals on the front, sadly. Yes, I'm looking at it, and I would have to redesign this lower arm, this front A arm, to get a dual shock on there. Because back here, it doesn't stick out far enough, and you wouldn't clear the upper arm without that sticking out further. Although, that upper arm sticks out a lot. You'd have to change the shape of it so much. I wouldn't like the way it looks after that. I am going to set up the IFS I'm working on, though, to accept dual shocks. So, Mike has never had Moxie. RC Crawling Addict used to love Moxie, stopped drinking soda years ago. You know what? You're better off that way. I don't drink a lot of it, but I do like Moxie. Oh. It's one of those acquired tastes too. It's like probably like coffee or beer. I don't know if I know anybody who's like, yeah, first beer I ever had, loved it. I still don't like beer. No Tommy tonight. That's okay. He's probably doing math homework. TRRC, if you're, or TRRC Concepts is like the handle, I think, on his channel. Anyway, he does custom trophy truck builds. And kind of like a waffle style little trophy truck. He uses a slash base and then builds the whole cage and welds it together. It's really cool. If you haven't checked out his channel, go subscribe. He's a great kid. He lives in Canada. He's short videos too. Very, very little commitment to participate in his channel. Excuse me. I love it. So when he's on and he sees me live, we chat back and forth. I like to join his lives, chat with him. But it is 8:01, and I did tell Melissa I was going to be out here 1 hour. So sadly, it's time for me to go. Mike, I'm really glad you stopped in. RC Crawling Addict, I'm glad you stopped in. And he may have left already, but Nothing Stock, thank you for stopping in. It's great to chat with all of you guys. Moxie is something that you can really only get in the Northeast. It is a Coca-Cola product, but it's got one of the most unique tastes you can, I think, out there when it comes to soda. And maybe it's just because it's a little bit different. You had it notify you so you wouldn't miss it. I love that. That means I am going to have to schedule next week's right now so that Tommy, I was just talking about how you weren't here. Welcome, my bro. Two of my favorite people on YouTube are like in the chat right now. Tommy and Mike. Say hello. I was just getting off Tommy because I've already been here an hour, and I told my wife that I would be only an hour. But I'm proud of you for doing homework. Doing that. Keep doing that because you'll be able to have way more RCs in the future if you do your homework. Do it at 8. You know what? Just for you, Mike, I will do next week's stream at 8. Let's do that. We'll give it a try. Hopefully I don't fall asleep before the end of it. I can be a little narcoleptic in the evenings. Even Mike's telling you to do homework. I'll tune in sooner next time. Well, next week, Tommy, I'm going to go at 8 instead of 7 my time, which is going to be 7 your time instead of 6 your time. Is when I'll start. So, yeah, I'm gonna schedule the stream as soon as I'm off, and you guys can see that notification. Then you can set up the notification to notify you. So, thanks for joining, guys. I really appreciate everybody coming in, and I will catch you. You'll catch me next week. I'm not gonna catch you, but you'll catch me. People always say, "I'll see you," and I'm like, "But you're the one on the camera. You're not gonna see me. I'm gonna see you." So. Nope, it's 8 there now. Oh, you're on my time zone. For some reason, I thought you were in Central Time. Okay, so yeah, 8 o'clock next week. Tommy, be here. Later. How do I turn this thing off? I should be better at this.